Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. This time it's about rotations, because you'll hear that all the time if you're playing a DPS, say a damage dealer, DD, in the Elder Scrolls Online. People want to know if you got a good rotation, how much damage per second, that means DPS, you can do. And I'm here to explain this for beginners today, meaning I won't get into very specific detail. I'll just show a couple of options and your skills and sets and everything, and what it's all about. So yeah, there'll probably be some things left out here, but this is only to make beginners for DPS see what a rotation actually is and what it's all about. Alright, so let's go down to my target dummy, this dude here. So you can put several skills on your skill bar, obviously. Each class has them, class-specific skills. And then you also have weapon-specific skills. Then you have your armor-specific skills, and you have various guild skills that you can use. Also Alliance War skills. Most of the people on stamina play either daggers or a sword or something on the front bar, and then a bow or a two-hander on the back bar. Whereas Magicka DPS usually have staffs, maybe a lightning staff on the back bar, a flame staff on the front bar, or just two lightning staffs or two flame staffs. That's all fairly usual. So let's start out with the different skills. On my bow bar, I'll obviously have skills from the bow skill line, whereas on my front bar, I'll obviously have the skills from the dual wield skill line. Now there's different skills. There's dots, AoEs, and single target damage. Dots means damage over time, like you put the damage on and it'll keep on ticking. Then AoE means area of effect. That would be something like razor cult drops from the assault skill line, for example. There you can see it's got a radius of 8 meters and it'll last for 12 seconds. Or from the bow skill line, the Endless Hail, which has a radius of 5 meters and a duration of 10 seconds. Or for Magicka DPS, your Wall of Elements, which has a big area, 18 times 8 meters, and lasts for 6 seconds, but that'll go up once you morph it, and then it'll be 12 seconds, I think. Now, what does that tell me? If I cast this skill, for example, Razor Caltrops, it'll be a big area of effect, and it'll keep on ticking, 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 ticking. That means in the meantime I've got time to use other skills, and then as soon as Razor Caltrops has run out, I should reapply it to get the most damage out of my rotation. And that's what a rotation is all about. You try to put skills in order, leave the ones that are ticking be for the time being, and then you'll have single target skills or spammables, like say Rapid Strikes, for example, which only costs 1700 stamina and just does consecutive attacks that each deal 1400 damage, and then the last one hits for 300% more. So that will be something like this. See, once it's done, it's over. It's not gonna keep ticking. There's no AoE damage, there's no damage over time. It's just that. So if I look at all my skills here on my skill bar, I've got this one, which is just single target. I've got Rearming Trap, which lasts for 6 seconds and then rearms and lasts for another 6 seconds. I've got Hurricane, which is a self-buff. And I've got Rending Slashes, which is a dot. That means it'll deal damage and then additional physical damage over 10 seconds. On the back bar, I have Razor Caltrops, which is an AoE. That says it has a radius and it's got a duration of 12 seconds. I've got Poison Injection, which is a damage over time. It just hits a single target, but it lasts, deals poison damage over 10 seconds. And I've got Endless Hail, which is also an AoE with a radius of 5 meters, duration 10 seconds. So, if I want to put all these in order, I'd start out with the one that lasts the longest, obviously, sorry, which is Razor Caltrops, that has 12 seconds. And then I've got Endless Hail and Poison Injection, which both last for 10 seconds. Now light attacks in between your skills will boost your damage immensely. That means you'll put a light attack, just one of these, in between every of these skills. That means in my rotation, on the back bar, I'd start with Raise Occult Drops, then put Poison Injection in, and then Endless Hail. So my back bar rotation, to get the most damage out of it, will be Raise Occult Drops, Light Attack, Poison Injection, Light Attack, Endless Hail. And then I can do a light attack or switch my bar. And that damage here will just keep on ticking and doing damage without you doing anything. So now you have time for your front bar to apply your skills. So if I look at the skills on my front bar, I've got single target, a dot, a self buff, and another dot. So it would make sense to just put the buff on, go for the single target, light attack, put a dot on, go for another single target, light attack, put another dot on. That means my complete rotation would be this. Raise Occult Drops, Poison Injection, light attack, Endless Hail, light attack. And then I can swap, and this will just keep on ticking while I'm doing even more damage with my front bar skills. And now Raise Occult Drops is run out, so I have to switch bars and reapply it. Do this all again, Poison Injection, Endless Hail, go back to my front bar, and do single target skills, the dots, single target skills, another dot. Obviously I forgot the self buff right now, but this was just means to explain anyway. Now this isn't everything you've got. There's certain weapon sets and armor sets that will boost your damage even further. Say for example, where am I going? Inventory. The Maelstrom Cruel Flurry set that I'm playing. This one says part of the Cruel Flurry set, when you deal damage with Flurry, your next single target damage over time ability used within 10 seconds gains more weapon and spell damage. So Flurry is in my dual wield skill line. I've morphed it to Rapid Strikes. It says up there Flurry Morph, advice skill, Rapid Strikes. That means I do this and then any other single target dot that I do after it, which I've got 2 from, name Rending Slashes. It's a damage over time that lasts 10 seconds. And Rearming Trap is a damage over time that lasts 2 times 6 seconds. Will do even more damage. So obviously on my front bar, I'll want to Flurry first. Then do a light attack, and then do Rending Slashes. Do another light attack, do Flurry again, light attack, and then do the Rearming Trap to get the most damage out of it. Also there's certain sets that will give you bonuses to this. Like, for example here, we've got Relicans, which has the 5-piece bonus of light and heavy attacks, apply a stack of harmful winds. So that means I'm going to keep on light attacking every 5 seconds. At least every 5 seconds. You can do it earlier, but don't let it go over 5 seconds. And this can add up to 20 stacks. Also I've got stacks here on Zogwinds when I deal critical damage. Obviously I can't influence that too much, but Relicans I can. And that's the whirlwind you see that pops up from my set whenever I do light attack. And then it ticks on for 5 seconds, and then I gotta reapply it with another light attack or it runs out. So that's a reason to do light attacks in between every skill, to keep it ticking and not let it run out, you know. But even if you're not using Relicans or a set like that, your light attacks in between the skills are something you have to do because they'll boost your damage immensely. So if you're not sure about your class and you don't want to look up builds online, which I'd advise you though anyway, because when you're starting out it's very hard to get all this stuff together, is find a rotation online or take the time, look at your skills and find a good rotation. That means a good order in which to apply them. One that makes sense, one where your backbar dots don't run out, one where you're light attacking in between, and where you're making use of your sets the way they're supposed to be. See? New caltrops, new injection, new endless hail. Not letting it run out. It ticks all the way through. And then my skills here on the front bar. And as soon as I'm done with that, switch to the back bar and reapply everything. And that way, in your rotation, you'll make the most possible damage out of your damage over times, out of your area of effects, and of your single target damage. That's what rotations are all about. If you are not able, or you think you're not ready yet to create your own rotation, look up builds on the internet. There's tons of good people that do wonderful builds. People like Zynode, for example, or Dots Gaming. They all have awesome builds with great sets and great rotations for you. So yeah, that's what it's all about. That's when people ask you what your DPS is and what your rotation is, what you can answer them. It's always good to get a target dummy or be in a guild where somebody has a target dummy, so you can actually practice your rotation and you don't just have to shoot around somewhere in the blind, because some skills won't work. And also on a target dummy, as you can see on the right side, the yellow line, you'll see your results. That means your damage over time, your DPS per second, your damage per second. That's DPS. So if I go and do a quick parse here, obviously not killing the whole skeleton now, and then in the right corner, after it's done ticking everything, you can see how much damage per second you're doing. So that little one rotation thingy here would have been, no, come on, where is it? Yeah, only 11k about DPS. Obviously you want to do the whole thing though, so it's always good, now that I've tested around a lot, to just reset it. You can do that by just selecting the skeleton, putting it away, and then press undo and leave your thingy, and there it is, full again, 3 million health, 100%. You can start over. Just practice your rotation until you get better and better numbers. And that's how you do a lot of damage to raid bosses and dungeon bosses, which will make the game for you and your guildmates and your trial mates a lot easier. Alright then, I hope you got the gist of it. That's what a rotation is. Just go find yours or find a build and go practice it. Have lots of fun. See ya. Bye.